vector in our life. So first of all, what is vector actually? Actually, a vector is a geometrical entities with magnitude and direction, often depicted as an arrow. For example, right there, this A and B using arrow is created using arrow. And then vector is represented by lines with arrow indicating direction and the length of the arrow indicating the magnitude. So here from the image, we know the direction is going toward up, and we don't have the magnitude actually because there is no plane state here. So the third point is the shorter strength line between 2 points represent a vector path, and then the magnitude of a vector is the length of the line connecting its initial and terminal point. So in Latin, the word vector actually means a carrier. It's, for example, the vector have initial and terminal point. For example here, the vector carries point A to point B in a direction with a magnitude. Therefore, vector means carrier. Okay, next. So actually there are various type of vector in our life. They depends on the magnitude, direction, and their relationship with other vector. Okay, let's explore some types of vector. First, we have zero vector. A vector happens when a vector starting point and terminal point coincide and its magnitude is zero. The vector is set to be zero. For example, at this image, this first is vector because it has the terminal point and the starting point is not at the same place, and it have direction and magnitude. Therefore, it has this arrow pointing towards A. And then the example on the right hand side is a zero vector where both points, starting point and terminal point, are at the same place. Because it is at the same place, therefore it cannot have any magnitude at all because there are no distance between both points. Okay, the second example of type of vector is unit vector. Suppose if x is a vector having a magnitude x, then the unit vector is denoted by x to p, x arrow above, in the direction of the vector x, and has the magnitude equal to 1. Therefore, x to p is equal to x over x ada batang. Okay, so sebenarnya unit vektor ni singkatan dia macam vektor dalam bentuk 3D. Dia ada first dimension, second dimension, and third dimension. Dia macam XY tu kalau XY je dia 2D. Tambah Z dia jadi 3D lah. Dia ada luas, panjang dan lebar untuk unit vector. And then the last example that I give today is a position vector. If O is taken as reference, original, and P is a arbitrary point in space, then the vector of P is called a position vector of the point. Okay, maksud ayat ni di sini, O ni sebagai titik original. Kalau dekat graf, O ni akan jadi, koordinat dia akan jadi 0, 0. Lepas tu P ni adalah arbitrary point. Arbitrary point ni maksudnya point. Dia point tapi kita tak tahu dia dekat mana. Dia macam floating point. Dia macam dekat awan, dekat langit. Kita tak tahu dekat mana. Jadi kita tak tahu koordinat dia, kita tak tahu semua. Jadi kita imagine dia as a arbitrary point. Jadi sebab kita tak tahu direction, kita tahu direction, kita tahu magnitude, tapi kita tak tahu point P tu. Dia, kita panggil vektor ni position vector. Okay. Sekarang kita go into the application of vector. First of all, what I want to introduce to you guys is the vector data. Vector data is actually consists of pair of x and y in coordinate forms, representing discrete points, and this data only works for 2D because it have x and y only, right? Okay, so this vector data can be organized to form a lines polygon, aiding in the representation of geometric feature. From point to point, we can create a line. From combination of line, and then we can create a polygon. The third point is facilities, assets, comprehension of global geography by humans. Maksudnya di sini vektor data ni sekarang digunakan sebagai salah satu data untuk orang create atau hasilkan map menggunakan vektor data. Lepas tu, shape like lines, curve, and squiggles are used to represent different geographical features such as cities or countries. Nanti akan ada lebih banyak contoh tentang ni. Okay, saya explain dulu yang bawah ni. Vector data enable quick identification and pattern in data and comparison of geographical challenge. Next, a vector data can help create a vector maps. Vector maps are commonly used in web designing, move product, social media marketing, and mapping software for displaying multiple graphic on a single paragraph. Oh, so far, you guys has any question?
Excuse me Ryan.
Okay.
Nak tanya, apa guna vektor data ni?
Okay. Vektor data ni sebelum vektor data ni wujud, sebenarnya kita gunakan raster data ni. Raster data ni dia bukan dalam bentuk X and Y. Maksudnya dia dalam bentuk pixel satu per satu, kotak satu per satu. Dia tak ada koordinat yang tepat. Lepas tu image yang contoh untuk buat map kan. Kalau kita buat map guna vector data, image dia semua cantik, sukatan, calculation panjang jalan tu semua tepat sebab kita guna karakter 3 tadi yang point, line and polygon tu. Kita kalau guna konsep line, kita tahu dengan pasti jarak tu berapa. Kalau sebelum ni, sebelum vektor data ni wujud, kita guna raster data. Raster data ni dia dalam bentuk pixel. Jadi masa kita ukur jarak, contoh jarak sungai tu berapa panjang, kita kena ukur pixel by pixel. Maksudnya ukuran tu akan jadi tak tepat. Faham?
Faham. Thank you Ryan.
Okay, so far, is there any more question? Arif, do you understand?
Apa kaitannya vektor data ni dengan vektor?
Okay. Untuk kaitkan vektor data ni, kenapa dia adalah under application of vector? Okay. Kita continue dengan next slide, ada contoh dia. Okay, dekat next slide ni, kita tahu vector data tadi ada guna 3 points. 3 karakter utama iaitu points, line and polygon. So 4 points. It usually represented by x and y coordinate, typically latitude and longitude. serve a reference point, especially for small feature like individual house or population culture. So, dekat konsep point ni, konsep point ni sebenarnya kita ambil dari konsep yang kita guna dekat vector. Contoh, dekat vector ni kan mula-mula dia ada points. Point from A to point B. Lepas tu, kedua dia ada line. Dia guna konsep yang sama saja. Lepas tu, for line, explanation dia adalah line formed by connecting varieties in a spatial order, creating a path. For example, the point just now just connect from one point to another point to create a line. So each vertex represent a point and connecting them create vector lines used to represent feature like river, road, and railway lines. And then the third characteristic of vector data is a polygon. Polygon is created by joining a set of vertical lines from second just now, a set of vertical lines, connecting them into creating a vector polygon feature. This polygon represent ecosystem area such as countries, lake or parks in geographical data. Untuk polygon ni juga kita jarang nampak dekat vektor, tapi ada sebenarnya. Biasa vektor yang kita belajar dia garisan je kan. Tapi dekat vektor sebenarnya ada juga line. Cuma peringkat lebih tinggi kot. Tapi polygon, salah, polygon. Ada juga polygon. Tapi untuk polygon ni, kelebihan utama dia adalah untuk represent satu area yang besar. Contoh dekat sempadan. Contoh sempadan negeri dengan negeri. Kalau kita tengok dekat Google Map, kan ada garisan antara sempadan tu. Dia create shape polygon satu negeri tersebut. Itulah specialnya vector data ni. Okay. Okay. Dapat faham Arif?
Okey, dah faham. Okay, terima kasih.
Boleh? Okay, kalau tak ada masalah kita continue. Next, kita ada okay. Second use. Selepas kita tahu vector data, lepas tu kita dapat create a map. Lepas tu vector ini kita dapat guna okay, sama-sama. Navigation system. Okay, so for navigation, GPS is a global positioning system technology involve navigation in various industry like vehicle tracking and personal device. Vectors play a crucial role in enable practice position data from GPS technology. GPS respectively represent signal with practice timing data from satellites orbiting the Earth. Maksudnya tahu dekat mana adalah dia transmit a signal to the from satellite tu ada data-data tadi tentang jarak jalan semua location. Dia akan transmit balik kepada kita untuk kita. And then using the speed of light as a constant, GPS receive tadi dia menggunakan bantuan daripada satellite untuk cari-cari tempat-tempat. And then the trilateration principle are employed to determine the receiver position using the distance. Okay, next. Okay, this navigation is satellite points represent a vector in 3 dimension. It calculates for the trilateration. Trilateration ni adalah tiga koordinat. Contoh X, Y dengan Z. Trilateration. Itu adalah trilateration. Processing in GPS. By combining this satellite vector with calculated interval, GPS receive accurately determine their own position. Navigation applications such as geological survey, mapping, and turns-by-turns direction utilize this position information. GPS vector also aid in calculating the receiver velocity and direction of motion. Satellite from bila dia dapat data dari kita, location kita, and then the next second dia dapat location kita, lepas tu dia calculate jarak tu, dengan second dia akan dapat tahu speed vehicle kita. And then application like route optimizing, speed monitoring, and vehicle tracking leverage GPS receive to track position change over time and calculate the speed and heading. Okay, we continue. Then here we have an example question on navigation involving vector. So the question is, okay, the question dia tanya, kalau kapal tu dia bergerak dalam satu destination. Destination dia bergerak dengan speed 1.852 km per hour, equal to 1 knots. Jadi kapal tu bergerak dengan 53 knots. Okay, kita tahu 53 knots equal to 64.82 km per hour. And then kapal tu dia ditolak underwater current. And then mesti location dia akan berubah kan. Jadi location berubah tu dia akan menjadi resultant location. Resultant force yang akan laluan baru dia dipanggil resultant. Okay. Mula-mula kita guna formula untuk cari dia. Speed of submarine is equal to 64.82 cos 12 degree 120 degree in X coordinate. Contoh dekat sini. Dia ke kiri sebanyak 120 degree. Sini 120 degree. Ke kiri adalah 64.8. Okay. Lepas tu darab balik untuk Y sebab sama. Kan ni 64.8 darab untuk Y. Sama juga untuk underwater current wave tu. Kanan X 9.25 speed dia, lepas tu ke atas pun sama. Okay, kita calculate, dapat answer. Kapal tu akan bergerak dengan koordinat 25.87. Okay, after that kita tahu yang component of resultant force tadi, koordinat baru yang resultant force yang kita dah cari tu. Jadi koordinat dia adalah ke kiri sebanyak 25.87 dan naik ke atas iaitu y-axis adalah 62.68. From this kita guna konsep ni yang Pascal triangle tu, kita untuk cari 67.8 km per hour ni. Okay, lepas tu kita nak tahu angle dia berubah, kapal tu berubah, kita kena guna formula tangent ni. Sebab ni kan bentuk triangle. Lepas tu kalau di sini tangent dia adalah opposite over A. Jadi dapat ni, okay, kita calculate. Final answer kita adalah kapal tu akan bergerak dalam resultant force iaitu direction baru dia in 67.8 km per hour and going to the north 22.43 degree right west. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, for the conclusion, finally, we know that a vector navigation is fundamental to modern exploration and transportation and enabling the process of predicting of vehicle movement. Macam tadi, the movement of kapal kita dapat predict. Okay, first we know that expressing quantities like force, acceleration, and velocity facilitate accurately navigation system for cars, airplane, or spacecraft to predict. Dia guna data velocity ni semua ni untuk predict the movement. And then second point is vector are vital in route planning, collision avoidance, and precise positioning, determining both direction and magnitude of movement. From GPS navigation to autopilot system, vector-based computational ensure efficient and success navigation across land, sea, and air. Okay, for the fourth point, Ognion technological advancement and deeper integration of vector in navigation system promise enhanced accuracy and reliability in navigation for both either an extraterrestrial realism. Okay, that's all for my presentation about vector application in our daily life.